Alidar. He's moving too, and Alidar comes like a shot into third.
Fusaichi Pegasus will roll into Kentucky as the favorite in the Derby.
And here it is. The 37-year wait is over. American Pharoah is finally the one.
There have been a lot of great trainers in our lifetime, but none really more so than Bobby Frankel. And the one time he genuinely had a Triple Crown contender was Empire Maker.
Yeah, Empire Maker looked like he was going to be the one, where we were talking about that. And he wins this race by half a length. The margin of victory seemed like it was kind of cheeky, like Jerry Bailey was trying to just get it done without using him.
But he was running against a very good horse in Funny Side, who, and I agree with you, Empire Maker was ridden sort of gingerly to the wire. Funny Side gave him all he could handle because Empire Maker was cruising by him. Funny Side never gave up an inch. These were two exceptionally good racehorses that took this tremendous performance in the Wood and brought it down to Kentucky.
Well, they really did, and Empire Maker then had some foot issues when he got to Kentucky, which I think hampered, his Derby run, taking nothing away from Funny Side, who was a fighter, and I think he signaled that here. He showed people how much heart he had because he didn't give an inch in the stretch.
Well, it's amazing to think about it in the Kentucky Derby, and here's the field slate, and there were some nice horses in here, Spite the Devil, who was a really nice New York bred for the Chief, but Empire Maker and Funny Side were the two horses, and here's one for you, Richie. Empire Maker, had he won the Derby, he and Funny Side square off in the Preakness. Could Empire Maker have beaten Funny Side given the race he ran that day?
I don't think anybody was beating Funny Side that day.
I agree. Now, Bobby Frankel was obviously concerned with being able to get Empire Maker through those Triple Crown races, especially with the foot issue. But in this race, man, after his Florida Derby, which was an awe-inspiring, he demolished the field that day, a little bit different here.
Well, I thought his Florida Derby was a lot like Honest Pleasure's Florida Derby, if we go back a ways. Now, Funny Side set up in a beautiful position, laying second, and he's got Empire Maker right to his outside. Now, something happens in the stretch that I think really kind of was telling about Empire Maker. I don't think he wanted to get hit with the whip because when Jerry Bailey hits him underhanded one time, he kind of sulks, and you can watch his demeanor. He changes leads, he pins his ears. And in later races, I think you saw that when he won the Jim Dandy.
No, he lost the Jim Dandy. His Strong Hope. Strong Hope beat him and just missed getting up his last career start.
That day, Bailey was hitting him. He wasn't responding. He put it away. He took off running again. And he just missed that day.
Very interesting. Just missed by a nose. I mean, Strong Hope held on by a desperate nose. And Empire Maker, Funny Side had a great career. He really did. He was a very popular horse, and some were disappointed in him at times. But I don't think you can knock the career he had. He ran tremendous for years. Empire Maker was just one of those horses that could have been a great.
Well, you felt like if maybe the stars had aligned a bit differently. But also, let's give Barclay Tagg, the trainer of Funny Side, some credit. He got him good at the right time.
No question about it. Barclay Tagg arrived on the scene just about the same time that Tom Durkin does.
Head-to-head with Empire Maker for the final furlong of the Wood. It is Empire Maker in front, still hand-ridden there by Jerry Bailey. Empire Maker is the leader. Funny Side running second. And then farther back, Kissin' Saint coming through on the inside of New York Hero. Down to the finish, Empire Maker, just a little nudge at the line to hold off the late challenge from Funny Side. But Empire Maker does it, gets the job done.
Man, it's so cool to watch these horses and see these good horses in a great race like the Wood Memorial. And, with Barclay Tagg with Funny Side, it's like all of a sudden people saying, like, who's Barclay Tagg? Now, for those of us around the racetrack, we knew he was a darn good trainer for 30 years. And this was the horse that got him a lot of attention. But Empire Maker was a potentially brilliant horse, and issues just kept him from showing it.
Yeah, and at the worst time, just before the Derby. But, it's interesting even watching that gallop out. Funny Side, and having ridden him later on in his career, he just got so much air. You could hardly ever pull him up after any race. And I think that's what, just kept him in such good stead going a mile and a quarter and beyond.
Oh, he could go a long, long way. Now, listen, he was third in the Belmont. But Funny Side, Empire Maker, that was his day.
Yeah.
And Empire Maker, he paid $6, but if it hadn't been a Triple Crown attempt, he'd have paid around $3.60. And even 10 Most Wanted, who went on to win the Travers, who finished second there. But Funny Side did not embarrass himself in any of these races. He got the job done in those races. Empire Maker, unfortunately, because of issues, he never lived up to his potential.
Well, and we'll never forget, Funny Side, the first New York bred to win a Kentucky Derby. They're not your grandfather's New York breds anymore.
We saw some tremendous Wood Memorials, and I know the Wood likes to take a beating sometimes, but I think it's just random. The Wood Memorial is a great race, and more great horses will be running in Wood Memorials to come.